Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you once again for joining us for one of our In Conversation series. Today, I'm delighted and really excited to be joined by some of our new friends from Die Crew in Stuttgart, Germany. We've got with us on the call today Michael and Martin. Hello, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Hey, great to have you with us. Thank you so much for becoming mission partners. We're really excited to be working with you. I always start in a fairly traditional way with these types of things. I think it's probably the easiest, but maybe if you'd like to introduce yourselves and perhaps even tell us a little bit about the agency, that would be splendid.
Yeah, let's do that. So, thanks a lot for inviting us for that call and for calling us to get member of the Mission Hub. So it's great, and we're really looking forward to meet you all in the future, in the near future. So my name is Michael. I'm Michael Frank, one of the owners of the agency, together with Martin, who will introduce himself in some minutes. I'm 51 years old, and I'm with the crew since now exactly 10 years. So I did a management buy-in in 2014. The agency had its 40th birthday last year. So part of the history is my history, but just a small part. So I'm here since 10 years, and I'm responsible for digitization and innovation and technology stuff in the agency. As I'm an engineer, so I studied automation technology in the 90s, which is a mixture of mechanical, software, and electrical engineering. That makes all those AI things that are happening at the moment so great for me, because I come from the automation side. I switched to marketing in the end of the 90s, and now automation is coming to that industry. That's great. And that's why I'm also responsible for the questions we ask ourselves: where do we develop when it comes to AI and automation in the future? And I'm responsible, not only, but the most important thing for me is the responsibility for all our clients in the building sector, which is one of our industry focuses.
Sure. I think it's great that actually I usually talk to people and their sort of lifetime careers are in the communications industry, and you've actually done something useful before this, which is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. The question is, people always ask me is, why did you do that? So you learn something good and then you switch to marketing. So why? Well, things happen.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be very good. So it was a good decision. Yeah. Martin.
Hello, yeah. My name is Martin. I'm the other owner and managing director of the crew, and I'm a little bit older than Michael, but not so much. And okay, after my marketing studies 1990, I started in several agencies in Germany and worked for different clients like McDonald's, Mercedes-Benz, Puma International, and Nestle Germany, all German clients. And in 1996, I came to the crew from the owner, together with the owner Gerhard Mutter, and I think in start of the 20th century, I became managing director and partner of the agency. And in 2013, I think in 2013, I started work together with Michael and with his specialized in digital agency, as a specialized agency, to work together on some clients. And in 2014, 10 years ago, we together the agency, and now we work together for 10 years. I think very successful, and made the whole transformation from a very classic agency, brand boutique, to now a really digital agency. Now, in the agency, I'm responsible for our healthcare clients, and also intern for like a staff manager. Yeah, I'm responsible for the staff. We have now 70 people in the agency, and we are located in Stuttgart. It's the only place we have And so we are, I think we are very happy to work in this new the Mission Hub, and because I think one of our objectives in the future is to get more international, work, and so I'm happy.
Great, great. Well, I was going to ask you how you two met, but I think you answered the question there, so I'll take that one off my list. But I don't know, maybe you could tell us a little bit about the agency, the sort of things you do, and the type of work and the clients. That would be great.
Absolutely. So I will share some slides. Just give me a second. Not that I pressed the wrong button again.
So now there we go.
There we go. You should see the presentation. So the Crew, that's the name of the company. Creative sales campaigning is what we're doing, and I will explain you in the next minutes what creative sales campaigning means. So, but before we go to that, if your company or your agency is named the Crew, then it's something very special. It's not only a name, it's much more to us. It's kind of our why, or part of our why. And that's why we say crew by name and crew by nature. So to live the real spirit of a crew is something that's very crucial for our success and for our company. And that's why if we talk about the agency, the first that comes always are the people that makes that crew. At the moment, we're about 70 crew members here in Stuttgart, from 9 nationalities, doing about 100 campaigns each year. We are founded in 1983, so 40th anniversary last year. We work for about 40 clients, doing about 6 million gross income. We are owner managed. We are a member of the GWA. We are still member of the Network One and of a German industrial communication network. And now we are a member of the Mission Hub since, Paul, I don't know it exactly, some weeks, let's say it like that. Yeah.
Well, maybe you could explain for our non-German viewers just what the GWA is, because it's a great organization.
Oh yeah, sorry. The GWA is the German Association of Marketing and Advertising Agencies. So in Germany, the market is, I don't know how it is in other countries, but in Germany, it's a very fragmented market. So we assume that there are about 30,000 agencies in Germany, from the small one-man shows until up to the big ones and networks. So a very huge market with a lot of players, which makes it very competitive and also difficult. And in the GWA, the German Association of the Advertising Agency, there are only about 150 of them. So because you need at least, I think it's 1 million gross income, about that. And you have to meet some quality standards and so on to get in that association. So you could say it's the association of the leading agencies in Germany. So that makes it so special. And it's a very active association that helps us with our businesses a lot, especially since COVID. So we're doing a lot to help their agencies grow and to learn new things and so on. Yeah, really great association. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So what is our mission? There are 3 very important words in that sentence. The sentence is, for our customers, we are an inspiring partner for more impact on the market every day. So the 3 important words are inspiring. That's what we as creative agencies should be all the time. But partnership is very, very, very important for us. So as I said, crew by name, crew by nature, that doesn't only mean how we work internally and how that crew spirit works internally, but also how we work together with our clients. We do that much closer than other agencies do it. And that's why we work for clients for so many years. For example, if you take Ratiopharm, which is a German pharmaceutical client in the OTC market, we're working for them since, I think it's 15 years now. So we won them in 2009, 15 years. Or take Dormakaba in the access control industry since 2013. So we have a lot of clients that we worked for many, many years. And I think what we understand with partnership is one of the main reasons for that. Yeah. And at the end, it's about impact. That's what we want to achieve in the market. So, and when we talk about creative sales campaigning in a minute, then it's more clear why impact is so important, or even more important for us. So at the moment, we have kind of four areas or units in the agency. The main one is the crew creative sales campaigning, which is the core of the agency. Then we have a specialist team of digital experts doing all kinds of digital communication. Doesn't mean that the classical unit doesn't do digital things, but in our days you have kind of digital commodity stuff and digital stuff where you need the experts, and the crew digital is the expert stuff. And our social media unit is also integrated there. Then we have our own film production unit, which is called the Crew Motion. 5 people that produce well around 100 films, 3D animations, all those things each year. Then we have the Crew Audio, which is a small unit producing audio content, for example, podcasts or radio spots and so on. And at the moment, we're working on 2 new service areas or units. The first one is called e-sales. So there's no logo until now. We're working on that. And e-sales is all about digitization in sales. So how can we enable salespeople? How can we help them making their job better by digital support things? So it's a lot of different kinds of projects we're doing there. But for example, for Ratio Farm, we're helping the salespeople to leverage their performance in the pharmacy through special e-folders or other things or digital trainings and so on. And that's what we will bundle in the unit we call e-sales. And additionally, we're talking about a unit that's responsible for AI and automation. So I have to talk about that. AI, Gen AI is the big thing that we're thinking about at the moment, as every agency does. But as I'm an automation engineer, it's very, very special to me. And we're giving a lot of effort in that new unit to create new services, to create new revenues with that. And it's not only AI, it's about automating processes. In most cases based on Gen AI, but not only. So that's how the structure will look in the future. We're working for many big German clients. So most of our clients are German-based clients or clients that have their origin in Germany. So, and we have 2 major industries we're working for. The first one is the pharmaceutical industry with clients like Ratio Farm at the upper left, or Hartmann below that, and some other pharmaceutical companies on that list. Most of them are only active in Germany, or we are only working for them in Germany, because the pharmaceutical markets, through regulations and so on, are very national markets. And then we have the clients in the building sector like Fischer or Trox or Schüco or Sto. And in some cases, we're working for the German market, but in most cases, we're working for the international marketing departments, because all those clients are international clients and international corporates. So example, if you take Bosch, for example, we are working for the power tools, the professional power tools, and we do that or did that for many years now, and we do that on the international level. So if we do create new campaigns, we support our client rolling them out in 20 up to 30 markets. And that's why, by the way, having international relationships to other agencies is so important for us, because most of those companies in the industrial area or building sector are international companies. So there's always the need and questions how we can succeed in different markets. And as long as we do it in Central Europe, so I think we can do a lot from Germany. But if it goes to other markets, the US, for example, or sometimes even UK, it's quite different. Because the market structures are quite different, it helps to have those international connections.
For sure, for sure.
So when it comes to the crew, and what makes us special is that we are not only a marketing or a communication agency, but we are also an agency that cares about sales communication and the communication all along the sales channels, which is a thing that normally agencies don't like to do so much, because it's very, very complex, and it's small parted things. It's not the big campaigns. It's small measures here and there, and you have to dive dive very deep into the business models to understand it, but that's what we do. So we care about campaigns and solutions that have impact in marketing and sales, because we believe that marketing and sales grow more and more together in our times, not only through digitization, that's one part. So in the digital world, marketing and sales is sometimes even one. Every marketing touch point is a sales touch point. But even in classical sales teams, digitization and marketing gets more and more important. And that's where we believe we are very good in. And that's what we call creative sales campaigning. So we are a creative agency. We're doing campaigns, but we're doing campaigns that have a direct impact on sales. So when you take all our services, there are some that every agency has, like strategy development and branding, or campaign development, content production, social media management. Then there are things that we have and others don't have. For example, what we call digital commerce. It's not e-commerce, it's digital commerce. It's when our clients with their classical products sell their products on marketplaces or on Amazon, we help them, for example, to optimize their listing on Amazon. We help them to have good brand stores on Amazon. We help our clients to have good content on all those online marketplaces, to have good performance there. Yeah. So then we do things like trade marketing or the sales communication. Sales communication is when we communicate to salespeople. It's internal communication. And when we help salespeople or sales teams to communicate very effectively to their stakeholders. Then we have all that e-sales stuff, and what is a new one, which like I told before, and automation and AI. And what we also do, which I think is a little bit special about us, is process consulting. So a lot of those international clients, when they create campaigns in their central international marketing team, the way to the markets is very long. So it goes from the international marketing team to the local marketing teams, to the local sales teams, to the local dealers, and so on. So, and the problem that we noticed in the last years with a lot of clients is that our clients spend lots of money and resources on making those campaigns, and nothing arrives in the markets. And the question is, how can we leverage that way from international marketing into the markets? How can we increase the productivity along that way? And that's what we do when we talk about process consulting. So it's mainly optimizing go-to-market processes for our clients. And that's something we do at the moment for clients like Fischer or Schüco, and we're helping them to get more effective on the way from central marketing to the markets. And the most important tool we have to understand the business models is a tool that we call the Crew Channel Planner. So here you see a quite easy picture of that. Sometimes it's much more complex. So, but what we do when we start to work for a client is to build that model to understand where at the end is communication. So it's not only communication between marketing and the users or the clients. There's communication from marketing to sales, from sales to trade organizations, and so on. So, and sometimes here it's only 6 of those arrows. We have pictures with 12, 13, 14 of those arrows, much more complex than that picture. But if we understand that, and if we dive deep into that together with our clients, that's the best basis for good communication, for effective communication that has impact in marketing and sales. So, and as I said before, sorry, most of those examples are in German. So that's something we did for Ratiofarm. It's a medicine against allergies, or we're working for the blue power tools for Bosch. Or that's an example of the sustainability campaign for Bosch Building Technologies that we did. Or what we also do now, we have quite strong social media department. So I think 15% or something of our gross income is social media project now. So it's quite a lot. That's an example for Sto, also client in the building sector. So working for different associations. That's, for example, is the association of the security companies that have the security stuff on the airports. And they have a big recruiting problem at the moment, because when COVID hit, the airports well, there were no flights or less flights than before. And so the security companies, they fired all the people, and now it's difficult for them to get them back. And they're doing campaigns to get those people back in the industry. Or we're working for Bosch Rexroth, which is the industrial part of Bosch, doing also for power tools, but very industrial power tools, and so on. Or it's a campaign that we do at the moment for SIA, also in the building sector. They're doing abrasives and sanding stuff. And what's interesting there is that that's the first abrasive that you can design. Normally they just have one color. Now they have the possibility to print it, and we developed a campaign where the sanding paper, the abrasive, is the carrier for the communication. So quite interesting campaign, and very aesthetic campaign we're doing at the moment. Yeah.
As a do-it-yourself nerd, self-proclaimed, this is really exciting for me. So I should be looking out for this if it's available in the UK.
Yeah, I don't know when exactly, but we hope soon.
Yeah.
And we're also working for other companies like Fair Energy. It's a local energy provider here. So we have those two focus industries: pharmaceutical companies or healthcare companies, and those building or all around building companies. But we also have different ones. So Fair Energy is an energy provider. We're also working for some insurances in Germany. So it's not only building and healthcare, but it's the focus that we have at the moment. Yeah. And last but not least, I told you before, crew by name, crew by nature. For us, it's very important to have a good partnership with our clients, but not only with our clients, because in most cases, when we work for clients today, it's not only us and the client. There are also other parties integrated, other agencies, specialized agencies, or whatever. And for us, it's very important to form one crew. So when we work for clients, we don't work for, and we work for the client, but we call us and the client's team together for example, Dormak Harbor crew or the Fair Energy crew. So I think that crew thing that is so important for us, that makes us so special. So it's the crew, it's creative sales campaigning. That's what we do, and that's who we are.
Fantastic, thank you. I mean, that was a fantastic overview, and I think what becomes very apparent actually listening to you talk is that you do believe the crew is fundamental to the DNA of the agency by the sounds of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, everything that you do is shared and collaborative, which is great. And part of the reason we were excited to welcome you guys on board as well. I mean, just a question or two, if I may. I mean, you've got these 3, 4, 5 different mini agencies within the agency, if you like. I presume they're quite cross-integrated in the way that they can work, aren't they, because of the type of work that you do?
Absolutely. So when we started to do those agencies, so that's really have been units, so a separate team. But now in the last 2 years, it mixes more and more. So those units are more and more service bundles and not only units. So because you need the digital experts in the digital department, you also need the digital experts in the AI thing or in the classical agency. So those logos are more and more service bundles or service areas than real units. So that changed a little bit. I hope that answers your question, if I got it right. But the core idea when we created it was to have separate units. But today it's more and more a mix of all people. And there are people that are on their business card, it says Crew Digital, but they're also in other units, active in other units or other areas.
Yeah, so I suppose you can build bespoke teams depending on the problem or the client and people. And this is good for agency people as well, because they get to experience different things in their career as well. Wonderful, thank you. And I guess the other question is, I mean, traditionally, I mean, our industry has sort of set aside determined agencies, if you like, a little bit by the type of work they do. And I'm thinking they tend to classify them as a B2B agency, a B2C agency, or perhaps even a sort of business to government or consumer to government type agency. And I was sort of reading on your website, and it becomes quite apparent when you talk. I don't think you see that as, they're not definitions that apply to you. because you work across, and it's just work that's more complicated, I guess, than traditional communications that you delve into.
Absolutely. I love that question because when people ask us, are you a B2B or a B2C agency? So we say, if you want to have those expressions, then we are a B2B2B or a B2B2C or a B2B2B2C agency or something like that, because we care about the communication along those sales channels. So that's one thing, how you can define us. And that's more complex than B2B and B2C. And the other thing is that we have that focus on sales impact. So that really makes us different.
Yeah, and I think that again is again probably something that really sets you aside. And some of the other partners that we have are very focused, and that's that traditional split, if you like, which has caused a lot of friction in the past between sales and marketing, i.e. marketing goes and spends the money, sales makes it. And I think by joining the dots, you're closing that and taking that argument away to a certain extent, which is
Absolutely.
great. If you don't mind, I mean, I'd like to ask, I mean, obviously we've got the whole point with Mission Partners is they're partners around the world. And I was just wondering, I mean, for those people who are perhaps less familiar with the German market, which is, by far and away the biggest market in Europe, I mean, what's the creative industry like in Germany at the moment? How would you define it?
Good question. We discussed about that question before the call. It's not so easy to answer. So, Martin, do you want to start? Or? So, when you take a look at the German market, so the first thing that I mentioned before, it's so many agencies, so about 30,000 agencies, and that makes it like a jungle of agencies. So for clients, it's very, very difficult to find the right agency, and that's why having a focus, having a positioning like we have is so important. So because since we do creative sales campaigning, some clients don't ask us anymore because they need a branding focused agency or something like that. But more and more companies come to us or ask us because of that sales communication competence, and that makes us much stronger. So I think if you have a market with so many agencies, you have to have specialization on something, or it doesn't work. That's the first thing. Then what Martin said before when we discussed your questions is that Germany is not Germany. So we have very strong regions in Germany. So if you work on the German market, it's totally different if you work for target groups in northern Germany or southern Germany. It depends a little bit on the product. So if you're selling, let's say, power tools, it may be the same. But if it comes to consumer products, so north to south Germany can be different or east to west, because it's a big country and we have very strong regions here. So I think that's a special thing. I think what we have at the moment, when you look at the time now, it's a very difficult time for agencies at the moment. So I don't know how it is, or we don't know how it is in the rest of Europe, but the economy is not very well at the moment. So the growth rate was about 1%, and then I think last week or so they said it's only 0.2%. So that's nearly no growth, which is a difficult situation for us, and that's what all agencies notice at the moment. We too, not with the pharmaceutical companies, but with in the building sector, and because that's the sector that really has problems at the moment due to some political issues, but also through the weak markets. So, but I think the most important thing, it's a very competitive market. There are not so many agencies who have such a long life as we have when it comes to the owner-managed agencies. So we're quite proud that we did it to the second generation and that we did that digital transformation in the last years, and now that transformation to a sales marketing-driven agency, which helps us a lot to be seen among all those 30,000 agencies, because that's the thing. How can you increase your visibility? Because that's so difficult with so many agencies. Now, I think that's for other agencies who discuss to work in German markets is the most important thing. How do you get the visibility in the marketing departments? And the problem is that when it comes to GDPR and the German way of living the GDPR, it's very difficult to do sales stuff at the moment. So I think that's the biggest competition at the moment, to get on the table of marketing directors and CMOs and so on.
Okay. I guess my question linked to this, and again, if you are a non-German agency and you have no experience of working with a German agency partner or potentially a German client, is there, from either of you, I guess, a single piece of advice that you might offer up? I mean, some cultures, for example, have quite a lot of cultural nuance. I'm thinking places like Japan, for example, where it can be quite complex, and there are particular hierarchies and etiquettes that one must observe. Is there anything in Germany that sort of would stand out and you would go, actually, you need to do this, or is it fairly standard stuff?
I think it's fairly standard stuff, to be honest. So it's even difficult for us to answer the question: are there rules when we analyze our own clients? But there are no rules. So every client is different. Every CMO, every marketing director is different, and I don't see any special things here. So to be honest,
well, that makes it nice and easy for everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Martin, you muted.
I think one special in Germany is that medium-sized business. We have a lot of companies in this medium-sized businesses, and I think the people there, they make these decisions of, I think in the culture they are very direct. Yeah, very direct, and they don't talk. Wie sagt man es? Den heißen Brei herumreden. They don't talk around.
Not doing much small talk.
Yeah, not,
so
okay.
Yeah,
they are not so polite like you in UK. So if these people don't like things, they will say to you in a very direct way. And so.
Again, this is useful to know.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, gentlemen, I mean, we've. I'm just looking at the screen, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but we're all of a certain age, and there's a degree of white and grey hair on the call. So we've seen quite a lot between all of us, and I think it's fair to say, and I think you touched on it, Michael. You know, our industry is going through a lot of changes at the moment. What do you see as the biggest opportunities for the creative sector at the moment, in general, not just in Germany, perhaps, but in your experience?
Well, to be honest, for me, it's Gen AI. So it's the biggest threat and the biggest opportunity, both of it. So I think if you understand which direction it goes and where it can help, you can create new business opportunities. If you don't understand it, if you say, oh, well, let's see what happens, then you will have problems as an agency. So, and it's not only Gen AI. I think it's the whole AI thing. And I think that's the biggest issue we have at the moment. We see it positively. So for us, it's a chance to generate new business, to have new kinds of partnerships with our clients. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to the change in our market. And when it comes to the core of our business, I think it's the more and more fragmented target groups. So it's more and more difficult to reach people. It's well, there's even a new small social media and TikTok agency in Germany. They say their positioning is to reach the unreachables. So I love that sentence, because that's a problem we have. Also in our markets, for example, if you take the building companies we're working for, then we have to reach the tradespeople, craftsmen, and so on. And it's so difficult to reach them today, because the younger ones, you get them in social media. The other ones, you get them perhaps still on classical trade magazines and so on. But it gets more and more difficult because it's so fragmented, and target groups are divided into micro target groups more and more. And I think that's the second thing when it comes to huge challenges. Yeah.
Martin, anything that you would sort of add to that? I mean, I could see you nodding along there in agreement.
No, I think Another thing is perhaps it's all about the people, the talents, the war of talents. It will be increase, I think, because you need more and more people with new skills like generative AI, a technical knowledge. So so I think it will be a change for us in searching new people, new talents for the agency. And I think that will be we need a big effort in the future for this.
Yeah. I think talent is an issue that we across the world as an industry we face, and just because it changes, and you both said it, the demand changes because what we're all expecting to do and understand. And I'm all for lifelong learning, but it's very, very fast these days. And
absolutely,
you need to pick up.
Even it gets still faster. That's a problem. So I was in Silicon Valley 4 weeks ago, in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, and even people there, so they're used to that speed of development, and even people there in the startups say that since we have Gen AI or AI, but especially Gen AI, things develop so fast that even the people in Silicon Valley say that's too fast for us. And if they say it, well, then we know what we are in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a slight worry, I have to admit. Yeah. I'm conscious of the time, gentlemen, but I just wanted to finish up really by saying, is there a brand out there that the agency would, or client that the agency would really, love to work on? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a German one; it could be an international one. A client that you really admire, and why, I guess.
I think for me, I discussed with Michael, and I loved all brands of healthcare market. Because healthcare market, you have a really sense because they are important in our daily lives, and I think they are working very nice and happy people there. and last but not least, there's a lot of, I think, of budgets and money for communication and advertising. So
yeah, no, I agree.
So for me, it's also not that one client. So well, I'm responsible for those clients in the building sector. So, and my dream is that we have clients in our agency with whom you can build a whole building. So we have clients that doing the windows, we have clients doing the facade, and we have clients for nearly everything, but there are still some of them missing. So we need clients doing the roof and so on, or producing the stones where the walls are built off. So that's what I always think, that we want to work for the well-known and best brands. Well, most of them are from Germany, or a lot of them are from Germany, but don't have to. But the most well-known brands in the building sector. So that's what we want to do, and what we want to achieve. And if you, I don't know, but if people see this video and know a little bit about the building sector, they know all those companies that are on our client chart. But there are many more of them, many hidden champions, market leaders from Germany that are very successful in the building sector, and those are the ones I want to work with. Yeah.
Well, I hope we can help you build that house from the basement to the roof, and then fill the bathroom cupboard with lots of very useful healthcare products. That would be fantastic.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're out of time, but I wanted to thank you both very much for joining me today on this call. Thank you for becoming Mission Partners. And if anybody wants to reach out to learn more, to talk with you, I guess we'll put your details at the end of the video, and they can reach out directly. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
We look forward to see all the other partners of the other agencies sometimes in the future. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Have a good time.
Good time.